Hello, I'm Jamie Buckland with the West Virginia Pew Families United for Education. I'm talking today with Lauren Queener from Montessori Research and Development. Lauren, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started with the Montessori method?
I have been a very devout Montessorian for about 9 years now. I really felt my Montessori calling whenever I decided to homeschool my son because he had vision issues and he really struggled in a standard public school curriculum. And so I started doing some research, and I found this wonderful article about Maria Montessori and her hands-on curriculum. And so I fell in love with it. It was through that research that I stumbled on Montessori Research and Development. I started ordering their albums and I was just in love with it. I fell in love with the great lessons and everything they had to offer. I started buying their materials. Now, almost 10 years later, I am a MACD certified Montessori teacher, and I work at the first K-12 Montessori school in Eastern Kentucky.
I love that. And that's where you are today. We can see that
Yes,
you're
this
in
is
a
this is our
classroom.
lovely classroom. We have our great lessons on the walls with all of our shelves in here. We have just got such a great school culture. It's wonderful.
Now, tell us a little bit about who Montessori Research and Development serves, because this isn't just for a homeschooling family. You guys also have classroom materials. So tell us a little bit about who you serve.
Montessori Research and Development can serve your standard classroom Montessori. A lot of times, Montessorians have to make their own materials, and that's very time consuming going through and making all your nomenclature cards. And also, oftentimes, they have to create their own albums. Well, what Montessori Research and Development has done is they have got albums with the presentations and what materials to use, the research projects, experiments, everything all in one with the materials for the shelf as well. Also, we have just launched a virtual digital material. It's got everything we offer as far as the physical materials, but digitally it does the presentations. It serves homeschooling families, it serves schools, it could serve anybody who is interested in Montessori.
Now, you have a great graphic. Walk us through the great lessons, a little bit about how you serve homeschooling families or those who may be looking to start a learning pod or a micro school, just a breakdown on those great lessons.
This is the wonder of the Montessori five great lessons. Okay, so the great lessons in our materials kind of fall into these categories. We have the coming of the universe, and that's going to cover astronomy, solar system, galaxies, meteorology, chemistry, physics, geology, geography. And then the second great lesson is the coming of life. And that's where you're going to get into your biology and your botany. You're going to get into animal classifications, vertebrae, invertebrate. And then the next one is the coming of humans. And with the coming of humans, it's about learning about our ancient past and how we got to where we are today. And so you're going to cover from the Stone Age to ancient Samaria, through ancient Greece and Rome, on up into modern times, where you're going to get into technology and inventions. And then in the story of writing, which is our fourth great lesson, that actually covers where writing came to be. Because a lot of the times kids will think, oh, well, I just learn language just to learn language. They don't realize that the language we speak today was developed over thousands of years. You've got cave paintings, ancient cuneiform. You get into hieroglyphics, and then into the Greek letters, the Roman letters, and Latin that eventually comes to English. But also, whenever you get into Greek and Phoenician, I mean, it also branches out into several other languages. They all kind of tie back to a lot of the same roots. After they learn about the story of writing, then they get into all the different aspects of language arts. And that's where you're going to have your grammar and your literature, your poetry, writing, all of that falls into there. And then the fifth grade lesson is the story of the coming of mathematics or numbers. It kind of goes into a history of where we got our number system. A lot of people didn't know the Babylonians had a number system of 60, and 60 is what we use for our clocks and so many other things today. So it gives a grand scope of why we have education, where it came from, and it helps children to understand the bigger picture. That was Dr. Montessori's plan, was you give the bigger picture and then you begin to break down details within that picture. And that's where Montessori research and development comes in with our materials. We've got different materials and manuals to cover all these different avenues of learning. And so a child can really, they can explore their own interest. You know, if they have a deep interest in something, then you're not limiting them to just learning one thing at a time.
I love that. So a parent or someone who would be looking to start a learning pod or a micro school steeped in the Montessori method, they would be able to go to the website and order the curriculum, which consists of a manual and the materials. They can actually get those resources from Montessori Research and Development. And then you, like you said, you also have this digital content now, which provides
Yes.
those presentations.
It has the presentations, it has digital manuals, it has videos on how to present things, it has videos on practical life. If they subscribe to the Montessori Research and Development digital curriculum, it has all the physical without the physical. So
I love
it can
that.
be a standalone, or you can use it along with the physical materials as well.
And where can we go to learn more about what you offer?
Okay, you're going to want to go to montessorird.com. And in there, you're going to see early elementary, you'll see upper elementary, and then you'll see our virtual curriculum. We also have manuals for infants. I mean, because you can start Montessori as early as infancy. And so we have manuals for the whole scope up till about 12 years old.
Wonderful. Well, Lauren, thank you so much for talking with me about the Montessori program. I appreciate it so much. I know our viewers are going to appreciate this presentation, and I know they'll be reaching out to learn more. For those of you watching, if you have any questions, I encourage you to get on the website and shop around, spend some time looking at what Montessori Research and Development offers. Again, Lauren, thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking with you.
You too. Thank you so much.